Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday's gentle yoga class. For this class, you will need a strap, and if you have a block, it could come in handy. You don't need it. And also make sure you've got something warm for at the end of class in Shavasana when we're resting. So, I'm just going to invite you to take 3 deep inhalations inside out, just to bring yourself into the space, to let go of whatever you were doing. You might have been running around this morning. I know it's kind of mid-morning now, so you might have been just trying to race around, do all your things. So I want you to come into the space and take this time to really center and ground yourself. So inhaling in through the nose and sighing it out. You can close your eyes if you wish. Inhale in. Sigh out. One more deep inhale and sigh out. Just keep your eyes closed. And just notice how you feel. Notice if you're feeling any tension in the body. Notice if there's any tightness anywhere. We're going to start with some gentle spirals, so you can either keep your eyes open or closed. So just placing your hands on your knees. First, we're just going to rock gently from side to side. So just rocking from side to side. Just literally transferring from one hip to the other. And then we're going to take that forward to the side, back, side. So we're going in this circular direction. Effortless spiral. Love letting the body do the work. Now we're going to take that other direction. So first of all, just going side to side, just to reset. And then going the opposite direction. Forward, side, back, side, forward. Just enjoying that feeling, that sensation of spiraling. Knowing that spirals and waves are part of the natural energy within us and around us. We're just mimicking nature, really. And making those spirals be smaller and smaller till they come to a complete stop. Just noticing how you feel now. Notice if there's any change. There's you feel more connected to the earth, you feel more like you're seated on the ground. Becoming aware of your breath. Noticing if it's up high in the chest. Sometimes when we're tense or we're anxious, we're upset, we can breathe quite high up into the chest. A really good way to alleviate this is to literally just take deeper breaths. So you can place your hand on your belly and one hand at the side of the ribs. And just as you inhale, try and fill up the sides of the ribs. And the belly will puff out. As you exhale, the belly will draw back towards the spine. So you inhale, expanding the side and back of the ribs, the belly will puff out. As you exhale, the belly will draw back towards the spine. So deep inhale and exhale. So we're going to do a slightly different counting breath pattern today. So yoga has many different limbs, the 8 limbs of yoga, one of them being pranayama, which means breath. So I'm going to introduce you to a very, very simple practice which can help you if you are feeling anxious or upset or uptight, or you just need to feel a bit more grounded. We call this a square breath because pretty much you just breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold for 4. So if I was to draw a square, it's like inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. So if it helps, maybe visualize a square in your mind's eye to keep yourself on track. But yeah, this square breath is really a really easy way to slow down the breath, to slow down your heart, your thoughts, and to help you feel really grounded and centered and present in your body. So you're welcome to either close your eyes if you want to stay internal, or keep them open. Just place your hands on your knees, or you can place your hand on your belly to just become aware of the breath. So we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Now, if this is too much for you, if you find it that you're holding your breath for too long, feel free to take breaths in between. This is not some sort of competition. I want you to honour yourself and where you are in this moment. And you might just find it a little bit easier as it goes along. So just see if you can find a nice, deep, even rhythm to your breathing. So we're going to begin. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now you can just let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And you can use this breathing pattern during the class. So today's class, I want you to really focus on staying present with your breath. If you find your breathing is coming up too high in your chest, or you're taking like short breaths, it means that you've gone too far into the pose and you're putting too much stress on the body. So I want you to pull a little bit out of that pose. So don't stretch as far or don't twist as far, and just notice how that changes your breathing. And also I invite you in the moments where there's a bit of stillness in class, I want you to come into that 4 breath. So that I'll call it a square breath. So we'll say, okay, let's do a square breath. So that you can just become more present, more focused, more aware. Because yoga is union of body, breath and movement. And so by starting by being aware of our breath, it will help us to become aware of everything else around us. So we're going to go lie down on our backs. So make sure there's nothing behind you, and if it's comfortable for you to do a bit of rock and rolling, bring your knees up towards your chest, place your hands just below your shins, and just rolling along the back if it feels good for you, until you come to lie on your back. So just a little bit of a massage for the back to start your morning. It's always about having a little bit of fun and being playful. And once you're there, drawing your knees in towards your chest. Inhale, as you exhale, draw your knees down towards your chest. Inhale, as you exhale, draw your tailbone down towards the ground, and then draw your knees in. One more, inhale, release. Exhale, draw down. Place your hands on your knees, bring your big toes to touch, and you're going to circle your knees out and away from you, like you're swimming as if you were a frog. So just slowly waking up the hips. Just noticing how it feels, staying quite internal for the start of class, and then circling the other direction. Notice if this feels any different. Then drawing the knees into the chest and taking a strap, scarf, belt, whatever you have, and hooking it over the right foot, ball of the foot. If you don't have a strap, just grab behind your right thigh. So you either keep your left leg, the knee bent and the foot flat, or extend that leg and draw the toes towards you. You don't want the leg to just flop out to the side. We want to keep this leg quite active. So wherever it is, we're keeping it active on the ground. I also want to make sure my elbows aren't up in the air, so my elbows are resting on the ground. So make sure the strap or the scarf is long enough so you can rest your elbows on the ground. Extend your right heel a little higher towards the sky, feeling that stretch along the back of the calf and the back of the thigh. And beginning to point and flex. Inhale to point, exhale to draw back. Inhale, point, exhale, draw back. Then slowly circling in one direction. Taking care to just move the ankle and not the whole leg, so just isolating this motion at the ankle. And then circling in the other direction. Take both straps into your left hand. Extend your right arm along the ground, or you can bring it into cactus arms, which is where you bend your elbow. And then you're going to allow the right leg to twist across the body. Either look towards the ceiling or look back towards your hand. Whatever feels good for you. Inhale to extend, exhale to twist. Then draw that leg up to center and then switching over leg. So bring your left foot into the strap and either keep your right knee bent, foot flat on the floor, or extend that leg and draw the toes towards you. Make sure your elbows are on the ground. Extend your left heel a little bit higher. And then beginning to point and flex. Inhale to point, exhale to draw back. Mimicking your upward dog and downward dog motion of the ankle. And slowly circling in one direction. And circling the other way. Take both straps into your right hand. Extend your left arm along the ground. And allow the left leg to twist across the body. Remember, either look towards the ceiling or look back towards your hand. Inhale to extend, exhale to twist. And draw that leg up to center, release the strap, and draw the knees in towards your chest, giving them a bit of a squeeze. Circle both knees together, which is massaging the lower back. And circle in the opposite direction. And getting ready for our core work. So extend the legs and bend the knees so the knees come into a 90-degree position. And then you're going to look towards the belly as you feel your head, neck and shoulders off the ground, palms face forward and palms facing each other. If this is strong on your head and neck, place your hands behind your neck to support the head. Look towards the belly. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. As you exhale, draw the belly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, draw the belly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. This time as you exhale, draw up through pelvic floor. Imagine you're drawing water up through the center of you, and then draw the belly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, draw up through pelvic floor, draw the belly towards the spine. One more, inhale. Exhale. Release your head to the ground. Cross your legs over at the ankles, place your hands just below the knees, and then rocking up and down the body. If it feels good for you to rock, coming over into a cat-cow, 4-point position. So we want to make sure our wrists are beneath our shoulders and our hips, our knees are beneath our hips. If there's any discomfort in your wrists or your shoulders, you can bring your hands, one hand length in front, and that will take just a little bit of pressure off the wrists for you. So coming into our cat-cow movement. So you're going to release the chest down and begin to look up. And then you're going to tuck the tailbone under and begin to arch the back and look towards your belly. So release the chest down towards the ground, shoulder blades go down the back of the body, you begin to look up. And then push your hands away from the ground as you curl the tailbone under, the back arches and you look at the belly. So you release, the shoulders go down the back of the body, we look up, and exhale, we curl over. Inhale, shoulders go back, looking up. Exhale, tailbone curls under, arch the back. So a couple more, using your breath to guide you. And then just holding in the center. And then going in whichever direction feels good for you. So you might want to do circles, you might want to come back on your heels into sort of like a child, you might want to wiggle, you might want to shake your tail, whatever feels good for you. Freeform movement is so good for us. So just listen to what our body wants. Remain coming back into the center. Draw your belly a little towards your spine, so you're strengthening your core. Extend your right leg behind you, and then pick it up just so that the leg is in line with the hip. So you're not going up too high. And then if you can, lift your left hand up and face that palm forwards. Draw your right toes behind you. And then release the leg and the hand. And the other side. Pick the left leg up, make sure the leg doesn't go too high, so just keep it at hip level. Reach the right arm up, out in front of you. Fingers facing forwards. Draw your left toes towards you, and then down. We'll try that again. So raise the right leg, just to hip height. Raise the left arm. Drawing through your belly is going to help you with your balance. And then down, the other side. Left leg up, right arm in front. Draw the left toes towards you, pulling through the belly. And down. Staying in your 4-point position. Pivot your left knee towards the back of the room. And then bring your right leg out to the side, and then we're opening up into a modified side stretch. So here, you can keep your hand on your hip and just begin to look towards the ceiling. You can bring the hand up, if that feels good for your shoulder. You can bring it across. And feeling that stretch from the little toe to the little finger. It's quite a good side stretch, this one. Then bring your hand down to your hip and then gently coming back into your cat-cow. We're going to do that on the other side. So bring your right knee behind you. Bring your left leg out to the side, so toes are pointing down towards the ground. And then you're beginning to open up through the top shoulder. So you can either keep your hand on your hip, raise that arm towards the sky, or bring it across over your ear. And if you do that, try and get that length through the body so you're feeling a stretch through the side of the body here. Little fingers to little toes. It's a good stretch. Bring your hand back to your hip and then come back into your cat-cow. And we're going to just sit back into a child's pose from here. So bring your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Sit back on your heels and stretch your arms forward. If your forehead doesn't reach the ground, place one fist on top of the other fist and then rest your head on that. Kind of like a little pillow. And coming into our square breath. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. If you've got your fist on top of fist, see if you can reach them forward. And then everyone with your arms forward, I want you to reach as far forward as you can, but without picking your butt off your heels. So really keeping your butt down towards the ground. And then begin to walk your hands across to the right hand side. So you're feeling that nice side stretch. Make sure you keep your left hip down so it's not rising up. Then walk back to the center, stretch out as far as you can and hold. And then walk your hands over to the left hand side and make sure you keep that right hip down. Side stretches feel so good. Then back out to the center. And then walking your hands in and touch, bring your knees in towards each other. We're going to come up into downward dog. So bring your weight on towards your hands, uncurl the toes at the back, and raise your hips towards the sky. And begin to walk out the feet, pedaling one foot down at a time. Just waking up the ankles. And holding in downward dog. Hands pushing firmly into the earth. Rotate the armpits towards each other, shoulder blades go down the back of the body, slight bend in the knees, raising the tailbone towards the sky. Come down on your knees for a moment, and I'm going to show you our next move, which is convoluted dog. So convoluted dog is a really nice flow movement that gets you in connection with the ground and helps you connect your breath with the movement. So I'll show you what it looks like first. So we come into our downward dog. From here, I bend the knees, I come forward into plank, and then I push my tailbone up towards the sky. I bend the knees, come forward, and push the tailbone up. So on the inhale, I bend the knees, come forward. Exhale, I push back. Inhale, bend the knees, come forward. Exhale, push back. So get your organ joining in downward dog. So we start, we bend the knees, we bring the weight forward into plank, and then we push our tailbone up towards the sky. Bend the knees, come forward, push the tailbone up towards the sky. Inhale, bend the knees, come forward. Exhale, push back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, push back, and hold in downward dog. We're going to go in the opposite direction. So from here, we come up on the toes, bring the weight forward, come into plank. Bend the knees and push my hands away from the earth to come back into downward dog. I come up on the toes, forward into plank, bend my knees, push my hands away from the earth, coming back into downward dog. Up on the toes, forward into plank, bend and out. Inhale, up on the toes, forward into plank, bend the knees, exhale, pushing back into downward dog. Inhale, up on the toes, forward into plank, bend the knees, exhale, pushing back. One more. Inhale, exhale, and hold. We might come back down into child's. This is a gentle class. Bring your knees out as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes to touch. And just resting back down in child's. Remember, you can come into child's at any part of the class where you feel like you're breathing too fast, your heart's going too fast, or you just need a rest. Doing our square breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Then coming back into downward dog. Bring the weight forward onto the hands, curl the toes at the back, lift the hips. Walking your hands back towards your feet and forward fold. Keep the knees bent, grasp the elbows. Gently shake the head for no, nod the head for yes. Just loosening up the neck muscles. Now grasp the opposite elbows. Feel a stretch along the back of the body. Coming into a half lift, look up, shoulder blades go back, create extension along the spine, and then exhale, forward fold. Again, half lift, look up, shoulder blades go back, exhale, forward. One more, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back, exhale, forward. Keep your knees bent, push your feet into the earth and roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Arms rise, look towards the hands, exhale as you melt down through the center of the body. Walk your hands out into plank and hold. Lower the knees. We're going to come down to Sphinx for our first variation. So come down towards the ground. Bring your elbows just in front of your shoulders. Push your forearms into the earth and lift your chest. Then bring your head back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes at the back. Push back into downward dog. Walk your hands back and forward fold, keeping the knees bent. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Push your feet into the earth, keep the knees bent, roll up through the vertebra, one vertebra at a time. Head is the last to come up. Then the arms rise. Look towards the hands. Exhale, melt down through the center of the body. Walk your hands out, come out into plank. Wrists beneath the shoulders, push the heels out, pull the belly towards the spine. Lower the knees. We're going to come down towards the ground. Bring your elbows just in front of your shoulders. Push your forearms into the earth, lift the chest. Bring your head back down, bring your hands beneath your shoulders, curl your toes at the back, push back, downward dog. Breathing in, bend your knees. Exhale, pull your belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the hands as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart, gently closing your eyes. Allowing yourself to catch your breath. Noticing how you feel. Becoming aware of the mat beneath your feet. Becoming aware of any sounds around you. So we're going to come into our sun salutations. Once the emergency cars pass. So standing with your feet hip width apart, starting at the top of the mat, hands to the heart. Inhale, draw the arms out to the side, and then exhale, draw straight down through the middle. Inhale, come into a half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold, step back, and hold in plank. Lower the knees, come down to the ground. Bring your elbows just in front of your shoulders. Push your forearms into the earth, lift the chest. Bring your head down, bring your hands beneath, push back, downward dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull your belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Closing your eyes. This time as we come down to the ground, I'll give you the option for upward dog, but you can always stay with Sphinx, which is where you come down to the ground and push your hands, your forearms into the earth. So listen to your body. Sometimes you just want a really, really, really gentle practice, and remember, you can come into child's pose at any time during the class. I can't see you. You could be in child's pose right now, and that's perfectly okay. So, wherever you are, come to the top of the mat, feet hip width apart, hands to the heart. Inhale, bring the arms out to the side, rise up. Exhale, draw the hands down through the center, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold, step back, 1, 2, into plank. Bring the weight so that the wrists are beneath the shoulders. Push the heels out, pull the belly towards the spine. Lower the knees. I'm going to show you upward dog here. So from here, what I do is I raise my toes and my elbows are only going to go as far as the ribs. So everyone, you want to give it a try. From your 4-point pose, raise your knees. Lower down, the elbows draw in towards the center so the elbows brush the ribs. Push into the mat, push the top of the feet against the mat to raise up the legs and then open up the chest. And then push back, down the dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to do that one more time. You have the option to either go down to the ground in Sphinx or go into upward dog when we're on the ground. Starting with your hands at your heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold, step back into your plank. Lower the knees. Either go down to the ground or follow me in upward dog, raise the toes. Elbows brush the ribs, push the feet into the mat, upward dog. Exhale back, downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, forward. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Gently closing the eyes. Becoming aware of your breath. Becoming aware of your heart rate. So we're going to come into our sun salutation V variations. So bringing your thighs to touch. Just going to walk back a bit. So opening our eyes, we're going to come into our chairs. So Sweep your hands along the ground, and then sit your hips back like you're sitting in a chair. We want to make sure that our hips aren't tipping up or too far down. Just let the tailbone drop down towards the ground. Either keep your arms extended or bring your hands to your heart. Sit a little bit lower. And then forward fold. Bring your hands behind you, clasp the hands behind you and begin to open up through the shoulders. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep your knees bent. Feel that nice stretch across the top of the chest. And then bring the hands down. Inhale, half lift, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold, step back. And come into plank. Lower the knees, either come down to the ground in Sphinx or come into upward dog. For upward dog, raise toes, lower down elbows, brush the ribs, inhale into upward dog. Exhale back, down. Raise the right leg. Bring the knee towards the chest, pull the belly towards the spine, arch your back. Remember the cat move, so arching the back like the cat. Bring the weight forward and then step that foot gently between the hands. You can pick it up and step it forward. Staying low for the moment, I want you to keep your left hand on the ground. Draw your right thigh towards the center of the body, almost like you're squeezing your legs, and then begin to open up the right arm. And then circle it away from you and up. So we're going to do 3 circles here. Use the breath. Inhale, exhale, and circle down. And then hold. Bring it back down to the ground. Coming up into warrior one. So pivoting on the back foot, 45 degrees, front knees 90 degrees, hips facing towards the front. Either bring your hands up or bring your hands to the heart. Open out into warrior two. Back foot 90 degrees, front knee 90 degrees. Imagine so you're spiraling your hips out towards the back of the room. Look back over the middle of the front hand. Exalted Warrior. Flip that front palm, lean forward, and then bring your back hand onto your thigh as you raise this arm. Keep a bend in the front knee, feeling that stretch through the side. Straighten this front leg. Reach forward with this front arm as far as you can, and then tip over into triangle. Now you may just reach your thigh or your calf, or wherever you reach is okay, and then opening up with the top arm. You can also bring your top arm behind you into a half bind. Then circle that arm out and away, coming back into warrior two. Cut with both hands down. Raise that front foot up. And there's an option here to either holding down a dog, go for a flow, which means to come forward to plank, lower the knees, raise the toes, upward dog, or rest in child's. You have an option whenever we're in downward dog. Choose your own adventure yoga style. So everyone in downward dog, raise your left leg. Bring your knee towards your chest, pull your belly towards the spine. Look towards the hand as you bring that leg towards the front of the hand. You can pick it up and bring it forward. Stay low for a moment, so keeping your back knee off the ground. Keep your right hand on the ground and open up to the left side, so the left arm opens up. So circling that arm backwards and up. Exhale as you circle. Inhale to come up. Exhale down to the ground. Inhale up and then back down to the ground. Coming into warrior one. So pivoting on the back foot now, so it's at 45 degrees. Hips facing towards the front. Front knee at 90 degrees. Either keep your hands to your heart or bring them up. Cross the hands, open out into Warrior 2. Back foot at 90 degrees, front knee at 90 degrees. Looking out through the middle of those hands. Flip the front palm. Lean forward. Bring your back hand onto your thigh and then raise that front arm up. Make sure to keep the bend in that front knee here and feel that stretch through the side. Exalted Warrior. Straighten the front leg. Lean as far forward as you can with the front arm, almost like you want to touch the opposite wall, and then tip over into triangle. Let your hand rest wherever it rests, and then begin to open up the top arm. You either raise that arm up, or you can bring that hand behind you into half bind. You can either look towards the hand or look down towards the ground. So we're really trying to open up this top shoulder here. We're also trying to keep a little bit of strength in our core, so we're not just collapsing down. So and circle the hands back to Warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands down towards the ground. Raise that front foot up. Lower down in downward dog. Either hold in downward dog, go for a flow, or rest in child's. Can rest in child, so bring the big toes to touch, bring the knees out to the side, sit back. If you're in child, going for a square breath, so inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3. And coming back into downward dog. Curl the toes back. From downward dog, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, forward. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart, gently closing the eyes. Opening your eyes, picking your left foot up and stepping out to the side. Coming into our forward folds. Place your hands on your hips. Your feet are pointing towards each other. So your outer edges of your feet parallel. You can have a slight bend in your knees here. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale. As you exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down towards the ground. Inhale, come into a half lift, come up on fingertips, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back, you can bend your knees. Exhale, fold. One more. Half lift. Exhale, fold. And walk your hands back. Bring your weight forward onto your toes. Push your thighs back. Enjoy the gentle inversion. The blood go back to the head. Really relaxing, calming pose. Place your hands on your hips. Use the strength of the legs to come back up. And roll the shoulders back. Roll them forwards. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and drop. Up, drop. One more and drop. And gently making your way towards the top of the mat. Then getting ready for standing meditation. So make sure your feet are hip width apart. Just becoming aware of the ground, of your feet connecting with the earth. Perhaps rocking forward and backward and just feeling the points of balance. Notice what happens to your body if you rock too far forward or if you go too far back. And then finding that neutral spot. Bringing your attention to your knees, noticing if they're locked, because that will put compression on the lower back. So just gently releasing through the knees. Make sure your hands are out to the sides. Open the shoulders, lift the shoulders up and back to open up the chest. Extend the neck, slightly tuck the chin. Imagine you've got a piece of string holding up the top of the head, gently closing the eyes, Tadasana. Gently opening the eyes. Should be feeling nice and grounded and calm. Getting ready for a balance. So we're going to come into tree pose. So for here, bring your weight onto your left leg. And there are lots of options with balances. So depending on where you're at, you can always use a wall to balance as well. So the first part of this is just to open the leg out. So we're just opening that hip out and coming up onto the toe. And this might be as far as you want to go today. The next option is to bring the foot in to touch. So it's a little bit of a balance here. So just touching the other leg. The next option here is to bring the foot just onto the inside of the cuff. And then opening that hip out. The next option is to bring the foot right up into the thigh, and it'll kind of just sit in there. And then if you open out your hips, you'll find that your leg will just stay. So wherever you are, either your foot on the floor, foot on the calf, foot on the thigh, make sure it's not on the knee, because if you begin to fall, you can really hurt your knee. So I don't want you to rest your foot on your knee. So remember, it can be just on the ground, it can be on the calf, or it can be up in the thigh. So wherever it is, just make sure you open your knees out, and it's going to help you with your balance. If you can, bring your hands to your chest, heart, and raise your hand up through the center, keep the hands, palms connected, lower the shoulders. Bring your arms out to the side. Be good to wiggle your fingers like you're retreating. Just kind of remember it's fun, playful. Got to look for all the fun, playful parts in life. Then bring the hands back to the center. Draw them down through the middle. You can try closing your eyes for a brief moment before coming out. And then just give your legs a little bit of a shake. Shake the energy out. Nice work. Tree pose is such a good balance. It just helps you with all your other balances. And the more you work on your balances, the less likely you are to fall, because you become really aware of everything around you. So working on balance is probably one of the best things you can do for yourself. And focusing on your breath as well. So, bring your weight onto your right leg. Open your left leg out. So opening the hip out, the knees pointing towards the side, and just coming up onto the ball of the foot. This might be as far as I want to go here. Maybe you can just bring that foot just a touch. You can also use a wall for balance or a chair. So we've got the option here to come just to the calf, or make sure you're looking at something that's not moving, coming up into the thigh. And if you're coming up into the thigh, really open your hips out to the back. It will help you with your balance. Find something that's not moving. Bring the hands to the heart. And then wherever you are, raising those hands up, keep the palms connected, shoulder blades down. Bring the hands out. Wave your hands around like you're a tree floating in the wind. Like all the trees are at the moment at the start of spring. And then bring the hands back to center. Palms touch. Down through the middle. If you're still with me, gently closing the eyes. And finding the ground. Nice work. Making your way to the top of the mat. We're going to make our way down to the ground. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold, step back. Downward dog. And just making our way down to the ground. So crossing one foot and the other foot and sitting back down. So you might want to sit on a block. You might want to sit on a blanket, coming into some forward folds. So from here, bend your right knee, keep your left leg long. Bring your hands towards your feet. You can use a strap if you want to help you with your forward fold. We're going to draw your hands along the ground, up through the body, and then fold. And 2 more times. Along the ground, up through the body, reach as high as you can, forward fold. 1 more. Along, up, and then fold. And then hold. Draw your toes towards you. Draw your chest down towards your toes. Coming to your square breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. And walking the hands back. And from here, we're going to come into a gentle twist. So, bring your right knee up towards the chest. And either keep your left leg long, or if you want, you can fold it underneath the right knee. Whatever feels good for you in a twist. So bring your right foot across in front of the left, so now you cross the legs. So from here, if you wanted to bend your left leg under, you could come further into a twist. Draw your right knee towards you, and you have options here. You can either just hold the knee with your elbow and bring your right hand behind you, or you can bring your left elbow in front of the knee and bring your hand into a stop sign. Whatever feels good for you today. Just breathe. Don't hold your breath in the twist. And then releasing, and then just gently twist to the other side. Lean into your hands just for the briefest moment, just to help to unwind the body. And we're going to stretch on the other side. So this time bring your left leg short and your right leg long. Bring your hands down towards your feet. Draw your hands along the ground, up through the body, up as high as you can, and fold. Along the ground, up as high as you can, and fold. Last time, along the ground, up through the body, up high, and then forward fold. Draw your toes towards you, draw your chest towards your toes. Coming into your square breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3. Walk your hands back. Keep your right leg long. Bring your left leg across in front of the right knee. Either keep the right leg straight or bend that leg underneath you. And from here, remember you've got the option to you can just grab, cradle the left knee with the right hand and bring your right hand behind you, left hand behind you. Or you can bring your right elbow in front of the left knee. Wherever you are, just breathing into that space. Keep your neck in line with your spine, so you're not twisting your neck further than your spine. And gently unwind and place your hands on the ground to the opposite side. Slight lean into the hands, just helping to unwind the spine. So unraveling the feet, forward fold. So remember, you can keep your knees bent. You can use a strap here. We're going to do 3 rolls, starting with our hands at our feet. Draw the hands along the ground, up high and fold. Hands along the ground, up high and fold. One more. Up high and then forward fold. Draw the toes towards you, chest towards the toes. Releasing the feet. Make sure you're at the top of the mat. If you've got a block handy, put it close by. We're going to make our way down towards the ground. Just going down towards the ground, however fast or slow you want to today. And then once you're there, stretch the arms, stretch the legs. Side out. Yeah. Stretch opposite arm, opposite foot. Another opposite hand, opposite foot. Both hands, both feet. So good to stretch the leg. Preparing for bridge. So bend your knees, bring your feet just behind you so you can feel the heels with your fingertips. Look down and make sure you can see the outside edges of both feet. That tells you that your feet are in line with your hips. If you're going to use a block, bring that close to you. And push your feet into the ground and raise the hips up. And if you want to go into the restorative, just place the block or something underneath your hips. If you're in bridge, draw your knees towards each other, push your hips towards the sky. If you've got a block, you don't need to do anything. This is a nice restorative pose. And just becoming aware of your breath. If you've got a block, raise up the hips slightly, draw that block out. And then wherever you are, gently coming out of bridge, so working one vertebra down at a time. And gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Preparing for a twist. So whatever feels good for you, you might be feeling like I just need to be really gentle right now. So bring your feet out as wide as the mat, keeping the knees bent. Bring the arms out to the side, and just gently windscreen wipering the knees from one side to the other. Find a side, wherever you are in your twist. Either look towards the ceiling or look back towards your hand. Draw the knees up to center and then twist across to the other side. Draw the knees up to center. Draw them into the chest. Circling them together, massaging the lower back. Circling the other way. Give them a little squeeze. And then getting ready for Shavasana. So grabbing a blanket or a scarf if you're feeling cool. Letting yourself rest. Extending one leg out, letting it go floppy. The other leg out, letting it go floppy. Becoming aware of your breath. Feeling the weight of your legs, connecting with the earth. Feeling your shoulder blades pressing into the ground. Slowly becoming aware of the sounds of my voice. Anything you can hear, anything you can sense. Gently beginning to wriggle the fingers and the toes, allowing movement and sensation to slowly come back into the body. Taking a deeper breath into the belly, circling the ankles, circling the wrists, stretching overhead. When you're ready, gently rolling over onto your right hand side, keeping your eyes closed. Pushing yourself up to a seated position and placing your hands on your knees. Gently beginning to spiral, you can either keep your eyes closed, just staying internal. Noticing if it feels any different to spiral now compared to at the start of class. And spiraling in the other direction. Making this spiral smaller and smaller until you come to a complete stop. Just taking a moment to notice how you feel. Notice if you're more aware of your body. If you're more aware of your breath. Keep your hands on your knees or bring your hands to your heart. you to think of someone you know, a person, an animal, a loved cause, someone that's having a hard time right now. And I invite you to send your love, your energy, your sense of peace out to them. We'll do 3 others. Inhale. Gently guide it. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings have happiness and the causes for happiness. Thank you for joining me for this beautiful practice of yoga. Thank you to all my teachers before me.